Hey everyone. Alright, coming at you with another video today, and this one is going to be talking about adapting, customizing OCP, otherwise known as Multicam. They are slightly different in nuance based on the design, contract stuff, blah blah blah. Fed camo, current iteration of issued military camouflage for namely the US Army and the Air Force. But also some other units in there too, special operations, whatever, and various SWAT units, various other federal agencies, things like that. The standard issue OCP camouflage for those entities and units. So while it is a reasonably effective camouflage for certain parts of the country, and we're just talking about here domestically in the United States, it's actually not very effective in my area. As you've seen in prior videos with camouflage tests with the DIY camo, I was using an OCP boonie and things like that. Most of the year, it's too bright. It's just too bright. There's a lot of tans and browns in it, which is good as a base fundamental color for camouflage, but my area up here is a lot darker. We don't get as much sunlight. During certain times of the year, it's very lush and green. The other times of the year, it is very brown, but we also have a lot of snow a lot of the time, and things like that. So OCP does not really work in my area. I have this and a boonie hat in the pattern, and I just use them for general day hiking and things like that. But what we're going to do here, we're going to make a customized camouflage pattern off of OCP. We're going to adapt it to our needs based in the change, the differentiation of environment regionally to where it's going to be more applicable and useful based on what we can do to it. So what we're going to do, you see some green in it now. You know, everyone knows what OCP looks like. You see green in it, but what we need to do for my area, and this is the North Midwest, the Great Lakes area, you know, things like that. Until you get over like into the plains or further south along the Mississippi River area and things like that, or some of your highlands, the Sierra Nevada mountains, and then getting into arid climates, this is where this stuff really works. It does not work up here. It is just too green and too different of a environment up here for it to really effectively work. Again, not saying it's a bad camouflage, it just does not work well for my area. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take some rattle can, some green rattle can, and we're going to customize this thing, okay? So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to throw some green rattle can on this bag to actually make it a little bit more functional for my environment here, my AO domestically. So yeah, let's get to it. So I'm just showing you what it looks like now. This is the 511 Rush24 bag, first generation one. I've had this for a long time, and yeah, so it's time to put a little bit of color variation on it to help it blend into my environment a little bit better. Again, not really anything wrong with the camouflage. I just prefer not to use it because I don't want to look like national military forces and otherwise, considering I don't work for them or anything. Even as a contractor, like sometimes we're using this stuff, but not really all that often. Some of the OGA stuff, other government agency stuff, and like all that, like yeah, sometimes they'll use this and everything, but largely we don't use it. So that's another thing too. But just for personal preference and use, and for my regional application, like I've been saying, this needs to get a little bit more green on it, okay? So now we're going to do that. So here's what it looks like now, and I'll show you what it looks like after I throw some rattle can on it. Okay, so rattle can job completed. Again, you don't have to go crazy with it, but like for this area, the Pacific Northwest, some of the upper East Coast, and some of your tropical areas when you're not doing Multicam Tropic or whatever, you do need to add some green to darken it a little to blend in better with those very lush woodland environments. So this is what it looks like. The back bit here, that's not really a big deal because that's going to be along your back, right? But on the straps there, just getting some color randomization. But the back is really the big thing here. You've got this. That's what it looks like, and you got to make sure you get the sides and everything. You got to help break up that profile, right? And then on the bottom side too. Let me put that up so you can see the bottom side. Threw some on there too. So now this augmented pattern is actually going to work quite a bit better for my area and some of those areas. You do need some more green and some slightly darker colors to an extent to be in there with your OCP, multicam, whatever you want to call it, for it to work really for your environment. So don't be afraid to throw some rattle can or use some RIT dye or whatever to customize your gear, because this kind of thing is necessary if this is what you have and you need to augment it to actually work better for your environment. It's very easy to do. I just threw some Rust-Oleum outdoor camo rattle can spray paint on here, some of the forest green, and in contrast with the browns and tans and some of the lighter greens that are in OCP and multicam, with adding that color, now it's actually going to work quite a bit better. Okay, so you can already tell it actually looks better, and it's actually going to help break up profile a little bit. The thing with OCP multicam is they chose the pattern because it was just a slightest bit more difficult to immediately detect somebody in that camouflage over some of the other camouflages they were testing, which I don't know what the efficacy of that really is. It is an effective camouflage, I'll give them that, but again, not for my area, not for other areas. So then you have to go in and augment it and adapt it to fit your area and your needs. Okay, customization is a necessity. You know, adaptation is part of the mother of invention in some ways, or convention, whatever you want to say. But yeah, like on the sides, like it looks a lot better, and I know it's going to work a lot better for my area now. So just to round it off, this is what it looks like. So very pleased with how that looks. It's definitely going to work a lot better for my area. You don't have to go crazy with it, but just do enough to help break up that just kind of blobby and too bright OCP multicam for your respective area and for my area. So that's all you really have to do, and it looks is going to work great. So very pleased with that. So there it is. That's the video for today. Looks good. I'm very happy with that. All right, metal up. Out.